Hello, guys. Welcome to Chat Adda. We have today with us uh, upcoming star of squash. I would say not upcoming star. She is already known squash player, and she's one of the players from India. I mean, I would say she was the ninth woman overall in India to be in the top 100 players of the world. Her name is Janet. Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure for us to invite you on board.
Hi, Dharmal. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great, great. So, how are you? How is the lockdown?
I'm great and very thankful to be healthy and doing well, having a roof over my head and food to eat, obviously, small blessings. And yeah, I'm enjoying this lockdown period, very different period for me because I wouldn't take like such a big break from normal, like, gym and squash and tournaments normally. But I feel like I'm able to utilize this time well. So it's been good. Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, this is something different, okay? Like squash. People have heard about it. People have thought about it, and everyone say that it's a rich man sport, but that's not you obvious. Like no, that's not. I would say we should just remove that understanding about squash. It's not the rich man game. It's for everyone. It's just that you need that support, and you just need that push up for push for the game, and that's obvious, right, Janet?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Like, our federation, the International Federation, the body of squash, PSA, Professional Squash Association, they have a lot of initiatives across, like, Northern America or England, and they have these urban squash. They have something called urban squash. So they are promoting it to the, more grassroots level and more not so well off areas also. Because there is this tendency to associate squash with the elite class, which is it is changing. It's not the case anymore. At the end of the day, it's just a normal sport with a racket and a ball, so,
Mm,
and everyone should get the equal opportunity to play. So
mm,
that is definitely the case here as well. So I think that needs to change. I myself come from the defense background because my dad is a retired Air Force officer. So
mm,
I had that advantage because the defense culture is very much, they give a lot of importance to sports. So it was a normal routine that, every day I would go with my dad to the sports complex. No matter where the posting is, there will probably be a squash court there. All across the country, anywhere in India, if you go to a defense cantonment area, you will probably find a squash court or
mm,
a badminton court or a tennis court or something like that. So
mm,
that sports culture was very, very important. I feel like, so it never, for me, bringing like in my upbringing, there was never that thing that okay, squash is like an elitist sport because I was in that different environment of the defense and the army area environment that was there. But yeah, slowly this mindset is also changing for squash.
right, right. But when you say that when you were you were going with your dad, and there were other sports as well, like table tennis. Tennis was there, other
Yeah,
than the squash. Then why
yeah,
only
table
squash?
tennis.
But why only
Why
squash?
only squash? No, it wasn't a case of only squash. Actually, if you think about the Fauji brat culture, we are always encouraged to pursue and learn whatever is available in that cantonment area. Like my dad was posted in Adampur. There was karate, so I did that. I was an orange belt in karate, but then we got a posting somewhere else, so then that stopped there. So there has been that I've done a lot of different activities like that as a child. So
So
including like
tell me how many sports you are good at, because you say that you are good at karate, you are yellow belt over there. You might have got a chance to play some other sport as well. So how many sports have you tried till now and you are good at?
so I used to play badminton before I picked up squash,
It's
and
similar, I
even
guess.
later on.
The same kind of racket and you have to play with. Just the thing is, the difference is that over here we have shuttle, over here we have ball.
Yeah, there's, yeah, slight small differences
Small,
थोड़ा
small.
बहुत, क्योंकि वो squash racket थोड़ा और भारी होता है and then badminton racket is a bit more light. Badminton racket is usually less than 100 grams,
Mm-hmm.
and squash racket is usually between 100 to 150 grams.
Right.
उसके बीच में
So
होता है
that's the
usually.
reason you need
So
to do gym.
थोड़ा सा.
That's the reason you need to do gym.
Yeah. So there's that small difference. Other than that, I've done kuchipudi classical dancing. I've done that for a few years actually. I did lots of stage performances and all also. My gurujis were Raja Radha Reddy and Kaushalya Reddy. They are Padma Bhushan awardees. They were very amazing teachers. They had this institute, Natya Tarangini. We did performances for that time President APJ Abdul Kalam. It was a very amazing experience, I must say. And I did horse riding. I did the normal singing, dancing, all of those things also.
So what is that thing you have never done?
What is the thing I've never done? Skydiving.
You might have seen this movie Three Idiots, okay? Or have you not?
I've
Okay,
seen.
yeah. So
Yeah, it's one of the few movies that I've seen.
okay. Uh, so there is a dialogue of virus in that movie. So life is the race. If you don't run fast, you will be like a broken anda, cuckoo bird. So how much is this dialogue, or how much is this sentence real for your career?
So even even in that movie, at the end of the thing, पूरा मतलब जो था उसका main जो saying was that success के पीछे मत भागो, अपने सपनों के पीछे भागो, and then बाकी चीजें अपने आप आएंगी. So I feel like this sentence, obviously rat race करके भी quite like काफी time से ये ऐसा saying चलता आ रहा है, and it is kind of true to a certain extent, obviously, because I am playing a competitive sport and everybody wants to win. So that competitive aspect is obviously there. But at the end of the day, we all have our own challenges, we all have our own journeys, and you cannot keep comparing yourself to other people. It's not healthy also, and it's not useful also. It's not going to help you in your journey, and it's not going to make the decisions and the challenges that you face easier, because they are all unique. So it's important to remember that I am my own competition, and at the end of the day, I have to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's something I tell myself. I remind myself a
Never
lot.
compare yourself with anyone else. I'm not against cricket. So people who are pursuing cricket, they should know that this is also one of the sports they can opt out for. And so always we see the good side of the sport. Always, like when we see cricket, yeah, so many cricketers are there. They're getting promoted, they're getting sponsorships and XYZ, whatever they get, or maybe any other sport. Okay, so there is always a flip side of the sport. Every sport has a flip side, always has a second side of the coin. So what is that second side of the coin you think about squash?
Definitely, in a lot of the, like even now with the Arjuna Award nominations, we see so many articles in the news of deserving players not getting the nomination by their federation, and lot of the people that I know also in the sporting community, like badminton or any other such sports, where they are saying many times that I have this achievement and someone less than me, but on better terms with the federation, they get nominated and things like that. And even with squash, we have lots of senior players, who have been playing, representing the country for 15, 20 years, and they have been given Arjuna Awards, Padma Shri Awards, other monetary awards by the government. And what is this awarding? This is the taxpayers' hard-earned money, and I feel they have a responsibility towards helping that sport grow. So same for squash also. They should take the responsibility and help the sport grow, instead of just trying to keep it in their family or in their region or state and things like that.
So what do you think, like, is the uh, the what you can say that still the sport is lacking, because of which the players are not known, the sport is not known, or maybe like any kind of thing that you still think that India is still behind in this sport?
Yeah, for sport like squash, the major powerhouse in the world right now are Egypt and England, and France also is doing pretty amazing. So to reach at that level, we have a long way to go. We have around 4 people in the top 100 right now. but there's still, I feel like, as I said, that the senior players need to come forward and try to grow the sport more. Why would a young girl in some random sports complex, when she sees these top players getting these awards or recognition, she should get inspired and motivated to pick up the racket and work hard. At the end of the day, government awards देती है, इसीलिए तो देती है, so that more people, more girls, more boys, young kids are encouraged to play. But uh, there's this tendency that the support comes when the person has become a big champion, and I think that needs to stop, because when that person has made it that far, already it's not essential to their survival. उनका तो चल जाएगा, but जो already अभी start कर रहे हैं या struggle कर रहे हैं, who are still at that phase of their career, for them it's a do or die situation. So I feel like the government and corporates need to change that, and instead of supporting one big champion who has made it and giving all of their support on that person, they should divide that and support more, younger players, or like players who are struggling, working hard, who are serious for the game. So I feel like that needs to happen more. So even with your own company, 24.7 Sports, that you were saying, your own initiative also, like more other sports should also get that kind of coverage. So I really appreciate that sentiment.
Thank you so much. Senior most players who are getting recognition, if they start such academy or start at least motivating players to come in and start playing squash, then that would be a great initiative to get good amount of players in this sport.
Yeah, definitely. For sport like squash, like I've been playing for so many years, and I've seen, like, in the Delhi itself, the Delhi Squash Federation, there were so many changes. Like there was one federation, then there was some fighting, and then there was this another federation. And just yesterday, there was in the newspaper that the government has de-recognized 57 federations of sports, like all the different sports, including squash and even other sports like badminton and all. And I'm not sure what's going to come, like, in the future, coming few days with that. But there's definitely this cleanup that needs to happen, because the coaches and officials play a big role in what the athlete is, able to do in like the international competitions and all. And I was actually watching this this serial called Vishnu Puran with my mom and dad few days ago, and there was this line, उसमें एक line थी कि अगर जो गुरु है सोसाइटी, अगर जो गुरु है, मतलब जो गुरु है, अगर वो भटक गया तो पूरी सोसाइटी भटक जाएगी.
सही बात.
So that is, I feel there needs to be more emphasis on that, and having a more direction like guru.
So we have heard all this dialogue everywhere, that like every single athlete has this thing in their mind, like देश के लिए कुछ कर दिखाना है, देश का नाम रोशन करना है. So this feeling, so this kind of feeling you might have got during your career. Okay. So what is that one achievement that made you feel like, yes, I have done something for my country and there is still something left for me to do? So which was that one achievement that you feel that, yes, something I have achieved for my country?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो ये जो सेंटिमेंट है कि हाँ देश के लिए कुछ कर दिखाना है, ऑब्वियसली मैं लाइक बिल्कुल, दिस इज अ वेरी पावरफुल सेंटिमेंट एंड आई फील वेरी लाइक डीपली इट्स वेरी important message. I take a lot of strength from this, and one example that comes to my mind, like just before I reached my highest world ranking, there was a period of around 6 months जब मैं बहुत सारे tournaments खेल रही थी. I was just living out of a suitcase for months because I was playing, tournament after tournament after tournament. So I was traveling alone on, like, there were a series of tournaments that I played in Canada and USA. And at every one of those tournaments, almost in every, like maybe except one or two, almost in every of the tournaments that I played, I was the only Indian representing in that tournament. So that was it made me feel a lot of responsibility and, like, Sina Chora ki, I am a representative of my country, and I am here to make my voice heard. So that was definitely a very proud moment. And out of that, my best performance came in this really small town called Sarnia in Canada. And I was staying with my billet. Her name was Christy, and she was just so welcoming. She was such an amazing host. I can't wait to go back there again soon. And I had my best performance there. I reached the semifinals of a 5K PSA event, and in the quarterfinals, I had my match against this Canadian girl, and the crowd was so loud. Oh my god! All the Canadian people were supporting her only, and then every time she would win a point, there would be just so much of shouting and everything. And every time I would win a point, there would be just pin drop silence. So that was very funny, and but it was a very proud moment also. So that was a good experience, and I hope to do more such upsets in the future.
I've framed the questions using the dialogues today. Like this is a new thing that I'm doing. So okay. So now my next question is like athletes usually get down with tension, stress, lack of motivation. So might be possible. So this dialogue we always hear that uh, दुनिया को उल्टा चश्मा दिखाना है, सीधा चश्मा दिखाने से अच्छा उल्टा चश्मा दिखाओ. So, according to this, like, have you ever faced any situation where some of your friends or athletes with whom you are playing for a while or with whom you are staying for a while, they have gone down in stress and they are lacking any kind of motivation, and you have shown them the other side of the coin and tried to give them like the right path to walk?
I feel like when I'm feeling down and all, huge pillar of support for me is my mother. When I'm not feeling so motivated, or if I'm having a tough match, if I'm having a tough loss, then she has been a huge support and such a big motivator. If I'm on the phone, WhatsApp calling with her for many hours because I'm away at a tournament. But that has been a huge support. Thank you that there is technology that exists now, because I can only imagine how it must be for a few years back for athletes when they're traveling in some country and they're all alone, and they can't talk to their family members. But yeah, that's a big blessing for I guess the technology that we have now. But I think it's important to have a routine in such situations. That has helped me a lot. Like having a after your match, having a routine, that has helped me a lot, because
Mhm.
I used to have this issue with, like, when if I would lose a tough match, then that would go with me for a while. So I've had to overcome this a lot, because when you are playing tournaments like back to back, like every time I've traveled, I've been playing like tournaments, and then you play one tournament and then you have to go to the next one. So again, you have to reset. This is something, it's very important that sports teaches you to, like, you have to, like, you are entered in this one, and then again you have to play another match. So you have to kind of reset and get back to, like, your ready state of mind, that okay, no, I'm ready to fight it out again,
Right,
no
right,
matter what happens.
right, right. So yeah, that brings me to my next question. Like, yeah, already this question was there. Like, in my previous question, I asked whether there was any situation when someone came to you and you were like, okay, उनको संभाला, ऐसा कुछ हुआ है अभी तक?
उनको संभाला,
Anytime with your friends or your, I won't say fans. Fans never come to us like, यार मैं down हो गया हूँ, मुझे कुछ बताओ. But yeah, friends or someone like from the same sport background or some other sport background. Have you ever come across any such situation? Like as you said that your mom is always a pillar for you in case of motivation.
yeah.
Were you the same for anyone else?
Yeah, so for me, as I said, my mom has been a big pillar, and also this my school friend Jasmine. I'm like, still very close to her, so we speak on the phone a lot, and then that she has also been a huge, because even though she's not from a sports background, but still she understands me, and she has been a huge support in that way as well. And Yeah, because as such in tournaments, like especially if you're playing in the domestic circuit, there are these the people you keep meeting in every tournament. So there is that certain. So there are a few people that you keep meeting at every tournament, and you. It's like a uh, camaraderie sort of thing. Like वो
Mm-hmm.
उतना तो मतलब रहता ही है कि you support them in their matches and they support you in your matches
Right,
and
right.
things like that. So that's
Yeah, so such
also
kind of people you should take always with you when you are in situation like what happened in Canada. At least someone should be there cheering for you on your point.
yeah, yeah, maybe hopefully in the future I can have that.
So usually I have seen that athletes are either in pressure situation when they are entering the court because there is a lot of expectations that is going in with her or with him, and at the same time I've seen the other side that athletes are least bothered. They are just cool, calm, and just go inside. So what is that thing that makes you either cool or calm, or you are in stressful situation and and what makes you motivated before the game?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most of the players that I've met, like the senior players that I've met, maybe like 99% of them, they will always say that there is a little bit thoda to nervousness sabko lagta hai, but you have to find a way to deal with it and use that to your benefit. It is something like when I was a junior, I used to struggle with also. But I find I've found that it's best to play through it and try to use that and prepare for it as best as you can. In and doing things like yoga and meditation, those things help a lot, and I
Mm-hmm.
try to incorporate that in my daily routine also. And again, with the routine, it makes you realize how important the routine is. Like if you have structure to what you are doing in your day, then you have like less stress. Okay, now I have to do this, now I have to do this. No, you're like more focused on okay, this has to be done, so you are more focused on doing it well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that really helps you even on tough days when you are not so feeling not so motivated.
Mm-hmm. Right. How is the or you can say like what is the importance of commitment in any athlete's life according to you?
Yes, commitment, as I said, the routine, following the routine is it's like a display of how committed you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously there are days when you don't feel like doing things, or days when you are feeling lazy, or days when you're not feeling very motivated. At that time, it's your commitment to your goals, to the things that you are trying to achieve. That is what
Mm-hmm.
keeps you going. You take motivation from that. And the commitment, like your discipline and your to take a very serious word. It's like tapasya, even if
Oh.
you are I mean, it's a very serious word with a
No,
very
no,
heavy
that's a
meaning.
good thing. That's a good thing. But everyone doesn't
Yeah,
understand this thing. Like even
yeah,
a athlete also has to follow all these things.
yes,
Like
definitely.
वो हर बार बाहर वाले लोग हैं ना वो अच्छे वाले दिन ही दिखते हैं. मतलब वो अभी हो
Yes,
गया ना वो मोदी जी
हाँ,
आए हैं तो अच्छे दिन आ गए हैं. But they don't see the other side, like what all things they have created for to be at this spot, what they have what they have made themselves to do for years, and that has made
yeah,
them to reach at this level. So they never see this, they always see the other side. हाँ, अच्छा
yeah,
मिल रहा है उनको वैसा. So as you
yeah,
said,
definitely.
tapasya.
Yeah, yes, our prime minister, he also has a very very inspiring story, and I take a lot of inspiration from his journey, from being a tea seller with his father, and being a chief minister of Gujarat, and then now prime minister of our country. He's a very inspiring person.
Mm. So have you got any chance to meet him during your career?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully soon. I want to
Right,
meet him.
right. Okay. Uh, so are you were talking about the routine. So when I'm not talking about what has happened during the lockdown, but when you are at the during these tournaments, how is your routine like? Or are you a night girl or you prefer being early in the morning?
No, I'm definitely a morning person. I have to wake up in the morning no matter where I am and no matter when I have slept at night. Sometimes we have in squash matches, we usually have evening matches unless we are playing like the domestic circuit, then you have matches morning and evening. So that's a separate thing. But otherwise in the professional tour you usually have matches in the evening. So no matter how late I've slept, I have to wake up early in the morning. And I started for the last couple of months. I started doing morning meditation also. So I do at least 20 minutes of 15-20 minutes of morning meditation, and I like to do yoga also. So that has helped me add a bit of structure to my morning. And I like to make my own breakfast. And depending on where I am, obviously it depends. If you're in some hotel, then you have to eat the hotel like
Self-dependent, self-dependent.
breakfast.
You need
Yeah,
to be self-dependent.
yeah, that depends. And then if I have a match in the evening, then maybe I'll go and have a hit in the court wherever the match is.
Mhm.
And
So
and then
usually,
get back, have
usually in
some.
India or wherever you are, so what is usually the timing for this practice? Is it in the morning or it's in the evening?
So usually, like if I'm like just training, like at my sports club or like at DSOI or anywhere or at some DDA sports complex, which is where I usually go. So there, evening is the most busy time where people usually come to play. Evening around 5, 6, 7 p.m. is very, very busy. That's when people usually come to play. And like the DDS sports complex that I play at, I like wherever kids, I try to give however much time I can. After if I'm done with my training, if there are kids there playing, I try to guide them and coach them as much as I can. That's like my own contribution to their journey. So I try to do that as much as I can. That's usually like in the evening I'll try to encourage more kids to play. Like there's tennis and there's badminton and all those sports. So I feel like all of these sports, they are quite similar also because of the racket and hand-eye coordination aspect. And so I feel like kids should pick up like all these different, like it's good to try out different sports. So I try to
Mm-hmm.
encourage that as much as I can
Mm-hmm.
in my sports complex.
Right. Right. So, being a Delhi girl, are you a foodie girl?
Yes, for sure.
So,
Definitely
what kind
big
of
foodie.
food you like sweet or uh, spicy?
I love spicy food. I don't like sweet food that much. I don't like food that is too sweet.
But
I can't eat it. I
that is usual for an athlete. That's okay. They cannot take heavy
oh I
calories.
no, it's not just for the calories also. It's just the sweet taste. I'm not a big fan. Like a little bit is okay. Like even with chocolate, I love dark chocolate. I can't stand like milk chocolate or sweet chocolate or anything. I love dark chocolate, bitter chocolate, all of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm simple. I have simple tastes. I love junk food. I love fast food.
Oh,
I
really?
love burgers and McDonald's, KFC. I love all of those things. When I'm traveling for tournaments, like this saying that okay, no, I'm not gonna eat that. If I'm done with the tournament, okay, then maybe I'll have.
Yeah, I mean, USA,
And
Canada,
and
now.
actually, I've realized that McDonald's tastes different for every city that you are in. They have
Okay.
slightly different tastes. Yeah,
Okay.
because I've
Okay.
had McDonald's in so many places.
Okay. So, an activity you started during, other than yoga, okay, an activity that you started in this lockdown, which you were not at all doing before lockdown, and you want to continue
So
in the future.
that I want to continue. So like at the beginning of the lockdown, one of those days where it was like yeah, okay, सब कुछ सफाई करनी है, cupboard सफाई करनी है, and all of that. So we were doing that, and I came across my old gungus from when I was doing the kuchipudi dancing days. So it was good to hear the sound again, and I thought, okay, why not just try to practice, a few steps again. So I started doing that, and I've been doing that for doing that many days since then. And it's been a lot of fun, just from old recorded videos and stuff, just trying to practice the steps that I remember and like trying to relearn a few more steps. So I'm not sure how the people who live on the floor below me feel about it, but I've definitely enjoyed it a lot. And hopefully I can find, like, even after a normal routine has come, hopefully I can continue to practice a little bit
Yeah,
more.
even
So
this
right.
is something you can, if you in front of foreigners, if you do, like when you are outside India for tournaments, and if you have a schedule where you have like 30 minutes, 40 odd minutes doing this kuchipudi, then and they are like, they are admired. They always, I've seen that, like they always admire what you
Yeah.
have with you. And
Yeah.
it would be like, okay, you can start, and they would always encourage you to do all this.
Yeah, it's a very, very big part of our Indian culture, and I feel very blessed that I'm able to learn, that I had the opportunity to learn this, and I feel it's added a lot to my personality also. So it's definitely a big part of the culture, and I feel that it deserves more representation also. So maybe hopefully in the future, if I get a chance, I wouldn't mind doing
Right.
things like that.
Okay, so you have played table tennis, you have played badminton, you have played you have been in karate, you have played squash, you have done kuchipudi. So all
Yes,
these things
I've
you have
done
done. Horse
horse
riding,
riding,
horse riding,
gymnastics,
gymnastics. So
gymnastics.
this list goes on, goes on. Uh, so still there is anything that is still left to be done, and you will be trying to do it in future. Is there
So when
anything?
I was younger, yeah. So when I was younger, I was doing gymnastics for I think 2 years. I did. So there were a lot of moves that I was able to do. But then when I stopped doing it, I sort of forgot after a while. So I was trying to do handstand and headstand. So headstand I started being able to do, but handstand I'm still working on. It's not that stable. Like I'm trying to be as stable as like when you are standing on your feet. So you're standing like completely balanced and stable. So I'm trying to make it as balanced as with your hands. Also, if you're standing on your hand, you're as stable. But I'm not able to do that yet. So I'm working on that.
Right. So, what are your future goals? Upcoming future goals?
So upcoming future, one major thing is to stay healthy and happy because with the disease and everything spreading, that's a big
हाँ,
cause
जान है
of
तो जान
concern.
है.
Yeah, definitely. Jaan hai to jahan hai. That's the main thing right now. That's the most important. Staying home, staying safe, and hopefully we can have the tour resuming in the future. And one goal would be to uh, play tournaments again and hopefully win a PSA 5K. This time, my best performance till now is in semi-finals. So hopefully I can do one better and win a title next time.
Right. Was there anyone else in your family from the sports background, or you are the only one from the sports background?
My dad is definitely very much into like sports. He played a lot of like tennis, badminton, squash. He did marathon running and all of that. But as far as proper athlete is concerned, I don't think there's any other athlete in my family for like miles to see. Even in my extended family, I don't think there's any serious athlete.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's move to the thing where we will put some situation in front of you. What would be your reaction? What would be your action in such situation? We would like to know.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Quick answer.
yeah, quick answers. Pressure before the game.
Pressure before the game, probably pranayam, anulom vilom.
But that sounds so bad, यार. I mean, बाहर आप अनुलोम विलोम और वो सब चीजें कर रहे हो. ऐसा करते हो?
I mean, it might sound bad, but it's very effective.
Okay.
Or even just like, or maybe just talking to my mom on the phone. That also helps.
Okay, right. Inside the playing court.
Inside the court, looking at the ball, looking at the racket, trying to refocus.
Right.
Like because after every rally you have like maybe few seconds where you're trying to think, okay, what the opponent is doing, what you are doing, what you want to change and all those things. So you're trying to like refocus your mind instead of like thinking कि okay referee क्या बोल रहा है and बाहर के लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं and all of those. So you try to refocus.
Right, chilling out with friends.
Sitting out with friends, probably trying new food, different kinds of food, new burgers. Love eating burgers. So
Sitting home with nothing to do.
that has never happened to me. Like I'm an only child. My mom and dad. My mother is a doctor. She's working, and my dad is a retired Air Force officer. So there is, since my childhood, I have been brought up to never feel bored, even if I'm all alone. There's always something to do.
Yeah. Have you ever tried reading books? Like you are into reading books?
Yeah, I love reading books. Right. I mean, not so much these days, but when I was younger, I had this phase where I would like just finish up. Like I would read like a lot of Meg Cabot and like those young teen novel kind of things. I would finish like one book in like maybe 2-3 days.
Right. Traveling. Or you are in flight. What you do? Sleep or watch some movies or read some books.
In the flight, I find it very, very hard to sleep. So I'll usually eat something, or I'll read something, or I'll watch a movie.
Right. So over there also you are eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Friends are teasing you for something.
If my friends are teasing me, I'll probably join in on them.
Right.
Yeah, I'll probably join them.
Okay. Maybe. So I am three things: watching movies, series like binge watching, or reading books. If these three things are there in front of you, what will you do?
Series, I mean, binge watching TV series में अलग ही एक मजा है. So that's a different. It's like reserved for different types. But I would probably like right now, if right now I had to choose, I'd probably like choose to read a book, and then second would be binge watching TV series, and third option क्या था?
Movies.
Movies, yeah, movies, TV series, like same thing.
Okay. If you are angry on someone.
If I'm angry on someone, I'll probably tell them exactly why I'm angry. And if I'm really very angry, then maybe I'll give them the silent treatment.
Okay, silent treatment is there.
Yeah.
So squash court में ऐसा कभी इंसिडेंट हुआ है कि सामने वाले पे बहुत गुस्सा है निकाल दिया गुस्सा गेम में?
Maybe like I haven't done it, but I've had my opponent like a few months back. I played the match, so there my opponent was taking out all of the on me. So it was like a boxing match almost. That has happened. So, otherwise, and even actually a few months before that also, I played this one match with this girl. She was a younger girl, and उस दिन referee को बहुत गुस्सा आ रहा था. The referee मेरे पे गुस्सा निकाल रहा था. The referee was like awarding points against me and all that was happening, and I ended up losing that match. It was very, very, very frustrating match because I never had like points and all given against me. It was just a bad match. And then उसके बाद एक महीने बाद I had the opportunity to play that girl again at a different tournament in a different city. And this time I was fully prepared. I was like, I'm ready no matter what happens. And this time I won like 3 love, and I have not seen that girl since.
Right. Okay. So I have heard this thing from athletes that during the match they get blank. Like during the match, because of the pressure, because of the situation, they at times get blank. Have this ever happened with you?
I mean, there is this sense that many of the times when I'm playing a match, it's like kind of playing on autopilot, where I'm not really like dissecting too much in the moment. I'm like kind of playing on autopilot that okay, subconsciously I'm like deciding okay ye karna hai. There is most of my career, like most of the matches that I've played like it's never been like okay ye strengths hai, weaknesses hai. I've always just gone and very intuitively I've played. It's I guess it's part of like playing so many matches and having the experience over like different sports and different like things also. I feel like that has helped me a lot. Just having that intuitive knowledge okay, I've just like gone and just played. But this is also something I'm trying to incorporate more, like having a more like defined game plan. It's like something I'm working on.
Right. So coming to the last questions, like uh, many athletes, young athletes, they get demoralized when they don't get chance to play, and they either stop playing the sport or they leave the sport because of pressure, because of family background, because of many such reasons. So, what kind of message would you like to give to those young athletes who are demoralized?
So if you a while back when we were talking, like obviously it can be very very tough, and there needs to be a change on how we are supporting younger players. There is obviously that, but I think for the players, I would like to say that if you're not sure what you're doing, just don't start like keep taking degrees and all just for the sake of it. There's so many players who have gone to like pursue education and do the academics part. They've taken that up, and then only after some time they've realized that okay, that is not where they are passionate about, and then they started playing squash again. But of course there's a whole complication with that you don't have, like you have to restart, and you are obviously spending so much time and energy and money and all of those things. So I think it's very important that you follow your dreams, that you are at the end of the day you are answerable to yourself, and if you are having that commitment towards your dreams and your goals, then that is really very important, and that will carry you through a lot of things.
And
So it's
lastly,
important to follow your dreams.
right. And lastly, before we leave, just one thing that I just remembered, like, what is the importance of education in the life of an athlete? So, like,
So yeah, I'm very happy you asked me this question, because my parents, my mom is a doctor, my dad is an engineer, and I've been brought up in an environment where education was just normal. It was as normal as breathing, studying and everything. And they've always encouraged me to have a balanced approach to everything. They were never like, okay, just play sports, or just do academics, just study. That is never. I don't think that's a very healthy lifestyle to have. And even now in society, I see so many parents, they're pushing their kids either just into sports, that okay, sirf sports khelna hai ya sirf wo karna hai. And I've seen a lot of people who I was playing with when I was younger. There's this tendency that the child starts to think that okay, I'm missing out on this or I'm missing out on that. There needs to be a balanced approach to the whole growth of a जैसे जो बच्चा जब ग्रो हो रहा है तो उसमें बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच. देयर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट गो इनटू दिस, and I'm really grateful to my mom and dad that they were always encouraged me to have that balanced approach, to studies and the academics.
right.
So like for me, even from like my own studies, I took science in 11th and 12th. So at that time, my squash playing friends, they were all surprised that okay, how are you going to like continue playing squash with those subjects. But for
बट
me, it was
आपको
like
सिर्फ
normal. It was like
लैब में ही जाना है, कहाँ लेक्चर्स तो कहाँ कोई पढ़ता है, लैब में जाओ, लेबोरेटरीज अटेंड करो एंड ये काम.
नहीं
I
but
am from the same background, so I know, like, we were just attending the laboratory.
no, but I always felt like if I was attending the classes, like if I was like actually present in the classes, then उससे काफी easy हो गया, मतलब exam time में prepare करना. So
Right.
that was
Yeah.
good. But yeah, that was in school. College में आके it was like a lot more.
So what have you studied? Like, what have you done till now in studies?
So I studied after school. I was studying in Airport Bal Bharti School, Lodi Road. I studied there, and then I did my graduation in computer applications and marketing. It's BA from Jesus and Mary College. It's in DU. It's in Chanakyapuri.
It was great meeting you, Janet. You have given a good
Likewise.
amount of insights about the sport as well as your professional career, some of the things related to your personal career, personal life. So yes, it will be definitely helping others who are thinking of opting for the sport, as well as they will get an idea of what is exactly the situation of squash currently, and they can opt out for the sport, maybe in future or in the present.
Yeah, Thank you so much for having me on Saturday. I had a really good conversation, and it was a great experience. And anyone watching, if they're trying to, like, thinking of playing squash, I encourage you. You should definitely give it a try before you decide if it's for you or not. You should at least, like, play it a few times. Definitely encourage you to do that. And all the best with your, future ventures also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.